Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good.
Rob, you know
Good,
what
how
I
are
was going to
you?
suggest? Can you pause the recording until...
And please invite your PTA board and friends to join future gatherings. Okay, we're just going to give people another minute or so to join us.
I think you're good.
Want to start?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our Zooming into membership for February 22nd, 2022. We are highlighting one of our units from Bergen County tonight, Oradell Public School PTA, and we welcome them and thank them for coming. Next slide, please. Just want to remind you of the housekeeping if anyone hadn't heard me because they haven't logged on yet. Please keep your mic to mute and keep your camera on so that we can see you. And please check in with the chat box and let us know your name and your PTA, PTSA name so we know where you're from. Ask any questions you need in the chat box and we will ask them as the program is running. We're going to record this and we're going to send you a link to it at the end so that this way you could have it for your records. It would be great if you also would save the chat box, but since we're sending you a link to the recording, you can always access that. So sit back and enjoy the event. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, we have our first poll. We want to hear from you. Next slide, please. In the chat box, let us know, is your 2021-2022 school year membership at, below, or exceeding your expectations for this year? Let us know. We want to know, we want to gauge your progress in the beginning. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, well, it's not up, but I'm going to read the agenda for this evening. It's a pretty straightforward agenda. So we're going to do introductions for the membership team for NJPTA. In celebrating our unit's successes, we're going to celebrate Oradell Public School PTA, and they are going to run through some of the tips and tricks that they use to keep their membership engaged. We're going to get membership tips and resources from the NJPTA membership incentives. We're going to get membership tips and resources from National PTA membership team. We're also going to hear about the convention, the New Jersey PTA convention that's happening in April, in early April in Fairfield. We're going to have some questions and answers regarding everything that we've gone through in the program, and then we'll have closing comments and prizes.
So Lori, we have a few that are exceeding membership, but unfortunately we also have a few that are below or just meeting, but they're at the right place. So hopefully after tonight, they'll have some ideas to hit that exceeding.
Absolutely. You are definitely at the right place tonight. You are going to get a lot of tips from Oradell. So sit back and enjoy. So now I would like to introduce our New Jersey PTA membership team. And my name is Lori Pasiak, and I am the Membership Development Chair. On our team, we also have Doris Harris, who is our treasurer, Jillian Sika. I'm sorry, I have to close a window here that just suddenly came in. Rosa Chera, our member at large, Lisa Falco, head of field services, Lynette Howard, head of advocacy. We have our president-elect, Sharon Roseborough. We have our president, Candy Fredericks, and we have our membership services director, Rob Chera. Also with us tonight is our National PTA membership team, Evelise Castro, National PTA Membership Outreach Associate, and she's going to give you a lot of tips from the national point of view, which they have a lot of resources she's going to highlight. Next slide, please. And now I'm going to introduce the Oradell Public School PTA President, Kelly Castro, and she has, this is a picture of the board for Oradell Public School PTA, and she will start the presentation. Take it away, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly, president of the Oradell PTA, and I have a member from the team I get to work with today, Kim Kayaski. She is the financial secretary on our team, and we're here from Oradell. We are the only elementary school in our town. We have about 800 students in our school and about 100 admin, faculty, and staff members. Our school goes from pre-K through 6th grade. And yeah, there it is right there. Big, beautiful building. There are over 800 PTA members currently, exactly 887. We have consistently high membership, and that's thanks to strong leadership before me. We have strong support from our school and from our administration. And at this point, joining the PTA is ingrained in the town and school's culture. So we benefit from this consistently high membership, which is wonderful. We have an executive committee with 7 officers, 34 subcommittees, each with at least 2 chairs. Some have as many as 5 or 6. And we have over 100 active volunteers. As I mentioned, we have consistently high membership. And again, this is thanks to strong leadership, and this is now ingrained in the culture of our town. I think that one of the things that drives that membership is we start advertising, or we start asking people to join the PTA in May, and they know if they join by a deadline set for the summer, they get to be included in this directory, which we have volunteers put together. And it has your name, your phone number, your email address, your address, and which teacher your student has, which teacher the child has, and class lists, and it has a listing of all of our different committees and all sorts of useful information. So in order to be included in the directory, you have to sign a consent form and sign up by, I think there's like an early August deadline. And in order to receive it, you need to just be a member. So anyone who even signs up today, they can have access to this directory. It is a paper copy. We have discussed going digital, but there are some understandably who are concerned with the information included in this directory being on the internet. So we're sticking with the paper copy, and we do an art contest over the summer in case kids are looking for something to do, and it uses the theme of the school. And yeah, this was the winner last year, and that was a third grader, and he did a great job. So that's a big driver. Again, we have really strong support from our admin team and the school. So we also try and provide quality programming and useful programming like lunches and fun events, so people want to be involved and join the PTA. Engagement has been a challenge. It was always the same moms doing all of the work, and they were getting burnt out. So we would struggle with getting to quorum and meetings, and we were always trying to find different ways to get more people to come out. So we set a goal to increase it at the start of the 2021 school year, which is when I came on as president. They asked me what I would like to do with my time, my 2 years, and they said, let's work on engagement. And then COVID hit. So we had two options at that point. We could either lay back and wait for everything to blow over, or we can dig in. And I'm happy to say we dug in. Thanks to motivated and dedicated team I work with, I'm proud of how our organization served our community during this time. We added value, goodwill, and fun and happy moments for our community. And again, that's thanks to the many dedicated and hardworking volunteers that we get to work with. We are continuing to work on engagement during the school year as well. And this is, we kind of put together, we got to thinking, how do we increase engagement? And this is how we think that we did it, because we have seen an increase, which I'm happy to say. Communication is number one, predictable, consistent, and polite. Every single Monday morning at 6 a.m., all of our members have an email from me in their inbox, and it goes out through, we use MailChimp, and we have over an 80% open rate, which is pretty good. And it's consistently at that over 80%. So, you know, that's because we make sure our content is relevant and it's fresh and it's interesting, and people want to open that email on Monday and see what's going on and make sure if they want to sign up for something, they get in. So, and if they need to look for an email, they know where to find it. So we like to be predictable and consistent, and the tone of that email is always polite. We always want to make sure we set a very good tone so people, you know, again, they want to keep reading that email. We put forth great effort to be approachable. It's not a passive effort on our part. We talk about it often, how we want to kind of give good customer service, have a positive attitude and approach, be warm and welcoming. And it's, I think it's really made a difference. You know, we've had many parents come to us with great ideas that we're able to execute. And I think that's because we are approachable, and we try to be responsive. So when someone reaches out to us by email or text or Facebook Messenger, or on, you know, while we're out at one of our kids' games or just at pick up at school, we want to get an answer to that parent as quickly as we can, because you know, they're in the mode currently of volunteering, and we want to catch them before they move on to something else. We express gratitude often, and the gratitude is genuine. We are truly grateful and often humbled by what these busy volunteers do to help us out. You know, often it's just an email of thanks directly to that volunteer, or even a mention in the weekly email, and we find that goes a long way to make sure volunteers feel appreciated, noticed, and valued. I think it helps provide an enjoyable experience, and you know, volunteering can be rewarding and fun, and we work our hardest as my team to make sure it is. So we, you know, we want people to keep coming back, and we are finding this kind of attitude of gratitude goes a long way, and people appreciate it. And, you know, I'm always shocked, grateful, but shocked how often a parent will come back after working with us on a big project and say, well, how else can I help, and it's really wonderful. So I think the gratitude goes a long way. We try and make everything accessible, make getting involved easy, interesting, fun, and create volunteer opportunities for parents. On the right side, you can see this is what is at the top of all of my emails that go out on Monday morning, and it's in the yellow box, and it's just a very quick summary of everything that's going on currently. And I read a book years ago called the 1 Minute Manager, and they say when you are communicating to such a large group of people, you should try and make sure everything is on one page, because they're not going to keep looking for the information. So we try and make sure this yellow box at the very least can fit on one screen of whatever device is being used to open that email. As you can see, it's very diverse programming. We share about our meeting, we have science, we have recycling, we are helping out local vendors. We have a lost and found slideshow in case your kid lost a sweatshirt, you don't even realize it. We still take us to a Mets game and spirit wear. And all of these have hyperlinks for anything which requires a link. So it's just one click through, so they don't have to go to our website and search for it. It's right there. It's very easy. And yeah, we create volunteer opportunities for parents. They love to see their kids. I love to see my kids during their school day, see inside the school, just see how it works. So any opportunity we can. We have parents coming to help pass out lunches or ice cream, or even help out in art class, especially for the younger kids who needs help handing out like art supplies and keeping the kids kind of in their seats and everything. So I think that that's really wonderful. Any chance you can to get parents in to see their kids in their school element, and we find that really engages a good number of parents. And get to know the community, the school community's needs, interests, and abilities. And once you pair those things up to create opportunities, everyone wins. And that helps build stronger relationships and further increases engagement. So on the left here, you can see our goals. We came up with these at the very start of the school year as a PTA executive team, the 7 of us. And we just kind of looked at where's our community at right now. Times are ever changing, especially with the pandemic. And we just kind of took a look at what does everyone need and how can our organization best serve our community. And we realized we could provide conveniences for families because life is busier than ever, provide cost savings for the community because some people lost their jobs, create fun for the students and their families. Life is very heavy right now. Support the school community through times of change. This was especially relevant last school year. We didn't know how the school year would look. And last school year, there were a couple of times where we had to switch to remote immediately. And instead of teachers having to reach out to, the school having to reach out to 800 people, they could reach out to one class parent per class. And those class parents coordinated the distribution of supplies and everything like that. And it really worked out great. We even had to go remote over Halloween, and these wonderful class parents put together little crafts that they packaged and they delivered to all of the students' houses. And it was just a really nice thing that they did and just really facilitated, just a big process that could have been really overwhelming for everyone, and it made it simple and streamlined. And support local businesses. It just kind of helps ingrain us in the community. Like I said, the PTA is in the culture of our town. And I think this is one of the reasons why we've really dug in supporting local businesses during the pandemic because, especially the restaurants, they lost a ton of business at the start of this, and we wanted to make sure they thrived because we want them to still be around after everything. And 800 students, it's a great revenue stream. So we exclusively use local businesses for our lunch program now. That was not always the case, so we just switched to that. And we find everyone's benefited from it. It's a lot of work for us, but we feel it's worth it. The businesses are happy because they're making, it's a different revenue stream that they wouldn't have otherwise. The students are happy because the food's delicious, and the parents are happy because they know what their kids are eating and they don't have to make their kids lunch. So we just kind of figure out what the community need. We took a look at who we know in the community. And that's where we have a diverse board. The 7 of us come from different backgrounds. Some of us are stay-at-home moms, some of us are working moms, some of us have special needs children, some of us have many kids, some have one. So, you know, we have good coverage of the community. It's very representative of our community. I think that works out really great. So we know, you know, for instance, we, when everyone was going virtual, we know a guy who works in IT who's really great with computers, and we asked him to share how families could maximize their Wi-Fi speed and do other things to help with the technology at home. And he gave a great 10-minute presentation and put together a one-pager we were able to share on our website. We had a wedding photographer who, of course, wasn't doing much business because no one was getting married last year. And we also needed to figure out a way to do school photos. So we kind of paired those two things up. And he did some beautiful portraits of the students and family photo shoots. And they're just gorgeous. Every single holiday card I received last year and this year from someone in town featured one of his photos, and it was just really gorgeous. So he was happy. All of us were happy. Weddings are back this year, and thankfully he still did the photo shoots due to high demand and much requested of this great photographer. One of our Board of Ed members, he's very happy, sweet guy. We did a Winter Wonderland and we needed a Santa. So we just called him and said, do you want to be Santa? And he said, sure, I even have my own suit. And it was great. He was the perfect Santa, and he got to go volunteer in a way where no parents were yelling at him. So yeah, I think just pairing these things up, it's just kind of creating different opportunities. Our community loves baseball, so we arranged a few baseball games. Once the Yankees, we're going to the Mets in May. The 6th graders are going to sing God Bless America. We sold so many tickets. Someone from our group gets to throw out the first pitch, so we're going to raffle that off. Everyone who bought a ticket, that serves as a raffle ticket. We did an event, OPS Around the World. We have different backgrounds in our town, and those people could come share their heritage. So we had, I think, 10 different countries come and share a little piece of their heritage, and we gave each country $250 to do whatever they'd wish with it. And we were so amazed by what people came up with, and the lunches to support the local businesses. Those are probably the big things, how we paired up all of these goals to the interests and abilities in our town. We try and make a community effort. We invite individuals and businesses outside of the immediate school community to get involved. That includes the town librarian. She's wonderful. She's a former teacher at our school, and she misses the students, so she's always more than happy to get involved. We did a fall fest, and she set up a beautiful story walk that stayed there for months, and the students loved it. She set up a great table with a lot of fun activities, and she was more than happy to get involved. Alumni are a great resource. They're some of our best volunteers. A lot of the high schools have clubs that require service hours. So if you reach out to those guys, those students are so happy to come back and see their old teachers and help out the younger kids. And the younger kids actually listen to them because they're young and they're cool and they're fun and they're not parents. So we actually had a mom in town. She has 3 children. She and her husband were both working remotely, and she needed someone to help her out. So she reached out to the guidance counselor at the high school, and he gave her like 40 resumes of students. And she said, oh, I can't believe I just need one of these. These are all so wonderful. And she was like, I bet you there's other parents in my situation. So she put together a program and just kind of used us to facilitate basically the high school helpers. And that started 2 Octobers ago, and it's still around today. And it's a wonderful kind of combining these 2 interested parties to join together and create this whole program, just because this mom had a good idea and was able to execute it. Town council, we are happy to work with. We always try and engage them and involve them as much as possible. They seem happy to help because when our school looks good, our town looks good. And the Board of Education, we're all volunteers with the school, and the Board of Ed kind of has a tough gig. They kind of get, when their meetings are busy, they say that's because when something's wrong is when the people come out, and they they're happy to come to our events and kind of volunteer in fun ways, like help Santa out. And, you know, kind of shows everyone they're human and they can have some fun too. So, and they love the school just as much as we do. So they're always happy to help out. And like I mentioned, local businesses, they're great and we want to support them. I mentioned the lunches. We also do coffee occasionally in the mornings when the weather's nicer. We set the table, we buy coffee from our local coffee place, and we buy pastries from our local bakery, and we just set it up and the parents come and they can catch up, grab a snack. In January, when everyone returned to school, we were able to put little care packages together for the teachers because it was tough times. Omicron was rampant. It was just kind of a drab time. So we wanted to let everyone know we were thinking of them. So we were able to include in this little care package a coupon for free hot beverage at this local coffee spot that everyone loves. You can walk to it from our school. So that was a big pick me up. And you really would have thought we gave them something much more exciting than a cup of coffee, but it really seemed to mean a lot to them. And we try to welcome new ideas and help volunteers execute them in their own way. All the PTA officers on here, I know, I'm sure you've experienced, it's quite the line we have to walk, where the school has their requirements and necessary restrictions, especially during COVID times. So you have to make sure whatever idea this parent or this volunteer comes to you with is manageable and it's able to be executed in a safe and efficient and manageable way, and which falls under the rules and restrictions and requirements of the school. So I think as long as you can set the parameters to that volunteer and let them kind of take the ball and run, you know, when we've done that, these volunteers have put together programming far better than I ever could. We have a picture here of a new event we did over the winter, right before the holidays. We rented out Winter Wonderland at Banton Park in Bergen County in Paramus. And they have an ice skating rink, a heated tent for food vendors, food trucks, fire pits, and the North Pole. And it was just a beautiful space. And we rented the whole thing out. It was all Oradell. We sold out. We sold over 800 tickets. We had to turn people away. And, you know, we realized next year we'll have to do 2 nights, but we kind of pulled it together very quickly. We had a parent come and say, why don't we do this? And they helped to make it happen. And we reached out to the food vendors we know in town because of the lunches. And we said, do you want to come here and sell food to, you know, on this night? And they were thrilled to do that. And they made some good business. So, and this event was so much fun. Everyone was so happy. It was a few days before break, and it was just a nice way to step back and just kind of enjoy each other's company during the craziness of the holidays. So yeah, Kim, I don't know if I missed anything, but or if anyone has any questions.
You got it all.
How much did you make from that event, Kelly?
Oh, for thank you, Winter Wonderland, we made about $5,000, and it
That's
really
amazing.
wasn't much work at all. We charged everyone $10, so we brought in about $8,000, and it cost about $3,000 to rent the whole space for 4 hours. And it was such a pleasure. I had to say, if any of the PTAs on or near that Banton Park in Paramus, it was so easy. The event went from 5 until 9. I was in my car driving home at 9:15. They did everything. They were wonderful and so organized. And I thought I'd be there until 11 cleaning up or getting situated. That's usually how it goes when we do bigger events like that. But I got to just wander around and catch up with everyone and leave when everybody else did. So it was really great. And we made really good money and everyone's so happy.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kelly. Does anybody have any questions for Kelly right now? If you want to think about it and have questions later, I'm going to have more questions and answers. But if you have any questions right now, please feel free to add them to the chat. Okay. Okay, so I don't think anyone has any questions right now, but stand by, Kelly, because I'm sure they will. Okay, so we have another poll. We want to hear from you. Next slide, please. in the chat box, let us know any ideas that you heard that you would use in your community. Anything Kelly put forward so far that you think that you can use in your PTA or in your community. Let us know. Anyway. Okay, well, we'll move on. And as you add anything to the chat, we will come in and. Oh,
We
looks
have
like
a couple.
Okay,
We have a couple,
go ahead,
Lori.
Lynette.
All right, so we have team up with local vendors to fix an issue like a photographer.
Mhm.
We have getting together with the local vendors, and we also have taken full advantage of businesses in the community.
And is
I think
anyone,
we have one more, constant gratitude and being approachable. And one person said, I'm considering the weekly and bi-weekly communication. They really like that.
yeah, that is a great one to keep them engaged. If you think of any more, please add them and Lynette will let us know. Next slide, please. Okay, so NJPTA offers a number of membership incentives each month, and I'm going to turn it over to Robert Chera to let you know what the events are, the incentives.
Thank you, Lori. So I'm just gonna quickly go through this, and we're excited because tonight we're gonna actually announce some winners of some of our membership incentives that we've had over the past few months. So these are just, I'm not gonna go through them, but just some of our past winners. We have had our early bird winners that were announced in October. The winners we're going to announce today, the Bright Future Award. This was for any PTA between the months of September and January that reached 100% of their membership goal to earn the Bright Future Digital Award. Each month, we chose 3 random winners. Each PTA receives a $100 cash prize. And today, we're going to pick our December winners, and we're going to pick our January winners. And I'm not going to read these. I'm going to pick as you can peruse as I mix the bucket. There's lots in here. So I don't get them mixed up. Yep. Okay, so we're going to do December first. We have 3 December winners. We have a lot of PTAs hit our goals this year. First one, Upper Freehold Regional in Monmouth County. There's no lower freehold, there's just an upper. Second winner, Garwood PTA in Bergen. Garwood, maybe Union County, I believe. One better. And our third one for December, Cherry Hill High School East PTA in Camden County. Those are our 3 December winners. Now I'm going to put in our January winners. I'm going to put the 3 January winners. And they are Joseph E. Sewell PTA in Union County. Lebanon Borough PTA in Hunterdon County. I mean, no one's disagreeing with me, so I'm just going to go with it. And finally, Hardyston Township PTA in Sussex County. Right, Lisa? So those are our December and our January winners. This morning, we announced our Super Teacher Staff Award winners for November. We had 4 winners there. And just to announce, you do have 6 days left for our Feel the Love of PTA Founders Day Commemoration Award. So all you have to do is your PTA has to enter 10 new members this month. And look at Oradell. Ivalee's already joined today, so Oradell only needs 9 more, and they'll qualify for the Feel the Love Award. Just pay those dues and get those members in by February 28th. We'll then pick 2 random PTAs to get a $25 Shop PTA gift card. In the month of March, we have the Male Engagement Award. Achieve more than 20% male membership to earn the Male Engagement Digital Award. There will be a form that we'll send out to self-nominate. And those will be due by March 31st. 2 random winners will receive $25 Shop PTA gift cards. And then just looking ahead at our big award in April, April showers bring May flowers. Challenge your PTA to exceed your membership total from last year to show membership growth. Pay your state and national dues for all members by April 30th. The highest growth statewide will receive a $300 cash prize. In May, as we normally do, we will do our growth awards, which will have more information. Be sure to take a look at our weekly e-blast that come out almost every Wednesday with all that great information. And I'll turn it back over to Lori.
Thank you so much, Rob. So we have another poll for you. Next slide, please. Have you seen our 2021-2022 membership incentives before today? Please put it in our chat box. So we'd like to know if you were aware of it. Some people may not have been. We want to see how our outreach has been successful. Lynette, do we have some answers coming in?
Yes, it comes about even tonight. We have a few yeses and a few nos.
Ah. Okay, so, well, I'm glad for the yeses, but we have to figure out why the no's are no's. Okay, great. Next slide, please. Okay, now I would like to introduce Evelise Castro from National PTA to give us some membership tips and tools. Take it away, Evelise.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here tonight and for all the work that you do to get PTA to accomplish its mission. The first resource that I would like to share with you was published last week on the National PTA website. We haven't done a lot of promotion, so you are among the first to know because one of the requests we got from our summer survey that we did of local unit leaders is that they wanted more resources on how to be able to service their members and to be inclusive. So because COVID prompted our PTAs to go virtual, and now everybody's going back to being in person, we have gotten a lot of requests to find out how to continue including the members that may not be able to make it physically when you're having in-person events. So that's the reason why we have 2 videos on how to conduct successful hybrid meetings and events so that you can continue to be inclusive of all of your membership. We would like for you to watch both videos before you download the handout that was put together for this resource, because that way you can understand better how the part 1 relates to part 2. They are both 15 minutes. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, I spent the entire afternoon working on the Spanish translation of this video. So you're going to have a Spanish version of it coming soon. And we hope that this is going to be really helpful. The idea is not, a hybrid meeting is not a meeting that is live stream, because a hybrid meeting allows for people to be able to see each other and to be able to hear each other and to be able to participate, because that's the part, that really is tricky. It's not a one-way thing, it's a two-way process. So I hope that you all take advantage of this. All of the slides that I'm sharing with you have the resources hyperlinked. And this is also part of how to lead a PTA virtually. Now with the ability to be able to continue to be inclusive. So let's take a look at the next slide, because these are other resources that we have that allow you to also continue to show PTA relevancy even in a virtual world. So we have videos on how to conduct a virtual membership campaign, how to engage members virtually, how to promote the value of PTA beyond the building. We had a lot of PTAs where that they said that people didn't see any value for even PTA to continue, only because they didn't have the schools. And one of the things that we were trying to get people to realize is that you can PTA beyond the school building. And for that, we have 2 videos with examples of how to PTA beyond the building and continue to communicate PTA value. And another one that is really important is how to communicate PTA value to your principals. And these are principals talking about the value of PTA and how they can get other principals and other PTA members to see value in that. We would like for you to let us know, what you think about these videos. So there is a form that you can complete with that. And you can also let us know what other type of resources and videos you may want to see. Like I said before, we realized that people don't have a lot of time to be able to attend to things. So these videos are 15 minutes. In 15, and for the most, you can listen, so you can almost run them as a podcast, and run them from your phone. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next resource that we have available for all of you, as a result of being that we are midway into the school year. Well, a lot of times we do a lot of things in PTA and we don't let people know that PTA is the one doing it. So we want to make sure that you take advantage of this opportunity to show to people what is it that your PTA has done so far. And so you have an opportunity to share like a mid-year status report of everything that of the highlights of what you have accomplished, and send a communication to your members saying, this is what your membership has allowed for to do. And we would like to thank you for that. And we would like for, if you haven't joined PTA, that you join PTA and continue supporting the work that we do. People join PTA when they see value, and what you do is part of the value that you communicate. And that's the reason why that status report can be so relevant for you to be able to make an ask. We always say that when you share with people what you're doing, it's easier for you to be able to say, and we would like, if you haven't joined our PTA, please continue to support this kind of work that you're taking advantage of. And thank at that time also everybody who's a member. One of the things that was shared tonight was how important it is to show gratitude. And I think that we always need to thank our members for everything that they do. And that's the reason why I started with a thank you, not only for being here, but because of all the work that you do to be able to really advance the mission of PTA. We sort of went quickly over the mission of PTA of making every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities. But we can only advance the PTA mission with members. And that's the reason why having members is so important. It is not how much money they bring, it is how much power they can communicate when we try to make things better for all families and for all children. So we hope that, I thank you for doing all that. And we hope that these resources that are also part, and if I can go to the next screen, of a suite of resources for making the PTA ask for people to join your PTA. So we have letters both for PTAs and PTSAs to invite them to join your PTA, to invite them to renew their membership at your PTA, and to thank them for coming to your event and taking advantage of that opportunity for them to be able to join your PTA. Again, because you're showing PTA value to them, so you have an opportunity to tell them, if you haven't done it already, please join our PTA. And like Kelly was saying, make it easy for them to do that and thank them constantly. Being a member doesn't mean being a volunteer. That's one of the things that we separate. But what the research shows is that a lot of people, believe it or not, say that they have not joined the PTA because no one asked. So don't take it for granted that because you're inviting people to join, they feel that, you know, invited to join. You need to make it personal. You need to make them, you know, you need to show them what is it that you've done or what is it that you're planning to do. So we hope that these resources are going to allow you, are going to simplify your ability to be able to make that ask and to be able to communicate on an ongoing basis with your members about what you're doing. So let's go to the next one. Part of showing value is a lot of what National PTA does with the programs. And you're going to notice here that we have icons that let you know whether or not the resources that we have are for PTA leaders or are for everybody. And if you notice, most of the things that we have here have the icon with many people. The one with the computer in front is for leaders, but meaning you process that for your members, okay? But if it doesn't have that, it means a member, a regular member can go directly to the resource and take advantage of what we have to offer. Next month is National Reading Month. So you have an opportunity. I mean, I was thinking about Kelly and the work with the librarian. You have an opportunity to really get them to celebrate National Reading Month in additional ways, either because you get the students to get their library cards, or because you get parents to read their books, or because, and remember, reading doesn't require, it doesn't have to be in English. Reading can be in your own language. It impacts, it does the work that reading does when you read to your children in whatever language you communicate with your child. So we storytelling can do that. So it's just part of that what you communicate to your child, the value of reading and how much of a difference it makes for you to be able to communicate and to be able to then be successful in taking tests, in communicating at school. I'm talking about the child. These are all the kind of things that go to supporting education, you know, for your children. You can build community when you do that, and you can speak for your child, you know, in the process. Use the PTA Connect, the resources that we have to be able to get children to be good citizens of the internet and be safe while they use it. Notes from the backpack. We have podcasts that go to all levels of PTA and are really a good resource to take advantage of. And if you're into science, take advantage of all of the STEM resources that we have to support children in science and families to support their children within the sciences. So let's go to the next resource. We want to make sure that if your PTA doesn't have time to be able to share everything PTA does, that you get everybody to take advantage of the communications that National has available, talking about the resources that we have available for families and for children. If you notice again, we have the Advocacy Insider, we have the Leadership Briefing. The three with we have with everybody are the ones that I would invite your members to register for, so that they can be able to see what PTA is doing that is benefiting their child. One of my favorite is Our Children magazine, which also comes as a printed edition during the summer, you know, when we're going back to school. Sometimes we have one at the end of the year, but it's primarily an electronic one, and people can go ahead and read them on their phones. A lot of people think that they need computers. You don't need computers. You can tell people that they can access that wherever they're at. And our National PTA website allows for the non-downloadable pieces to be read in, at least in Spanish. So Leadership Briefing, if based on what we've been communicated, means it's for you, so that you know what's coming up that is going to help you with your PTA. So we hope that all of these opportunities are going to allow you to engage your parents, to communicate PTA value, and to make them feel that their membership matters and makes a difference. And last but not least, we would like to invite all of you to the National PTA Convention this year, because National PTA is 125 years old this year. And we're going to be meeting in Maryland. We're going to combine convention with our legislative conference. So you have an opportunity to be part of both. And we hope that COVID is going to be mild enough at that time that with all of the precautions that we have in place, that you're going to be able to join us. One of the things that I wanted to let you know is that we're going to have an online version of the convention, but it's never going to be like being physically there. I was at the 100th convention, and I wasn't sure we were going to be able to attend the National PTA Convention this year. I told my supervisor, well, if I cannot go as part of National PTA, I'm going to be there as a regular member of PTA, because I'm not missing the 125th convention. I hope that you're all going to be able to join us there. You're not that far away, and you can share your room. I am from the days of 2 to a bed as a volunteer. I'm not saying you need to do that, but my friends and I always, save to be able to come together, because we felt that if we didn't attend the National PTA Convention, we didn't have enough information to be able to say how great PTA was going to be the coming year. So I hope that you're all going to come and join us. And I don't know if you have any questions, but I hope that this is going to be useful to you. Oh, I'm going to take advantage of this particular slide. We have a PTA Facebook group that you can join. And it's another one of those avenues that we have to share a lot of information and resources and celebrate what you're doing in PTA. Oh, Angel is part of it.
I actually am part of it too, and it's a wonderful resource. Thank you so much, Evilise. Appreciate National coming tonight and giving us all of those resources. So,
remember,
yeah.
Value
Absolutely.
is communicating value is the secret to your membership. And then after that, if you embed all that in all of the great practices that Oradell has shared with us tonight.
I was just going to say, Oradell's got that going. So
exactly,
they're a great example of that.
I wonder if they are a school of excellence.
If not, they should definitely go through that and
absolutely, yes.
Is someone coming in? Kelly? Do you have an answer for that? Okay, well, if you don't, that's fine.
I'm not sure if we are.
Check with your principal.
I'm not sure either.
They will know.
Yeah.
Just check with your principal. They'll be able to tell you. Okay, so I'd like to open this up to questions anyone might have for Evilise or for the Oradell Public School PTA. Any questions around the table here? Please let us know. Lynette will happily read them out. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, maybe or a minute or so, maybe put some in. So far, I don't see any, but Lynette will let us know. And the questions could also come from the NJPTA board if you guys have any questions. I've been seeing you guys being active in the chat room. It's awesome.
Well, they can go ahead and share them in the chat box.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, we can continue going. And that way we remain within the hour, which I don't know if
think
we'll
we-
be able to.
Yeah.
I think we do have a question. If Lynette would like to read that one out, we do have time for one
Yes, I
question.
will read that. It said, membership slows in the new year. How can we combat that?
Well, one way is to share our NJPTA incentives with your general membership. That's a good one. We have that March one coming up where some of the PTA moms can beat their dads over the head and say, you have to join too, because that one is based on the number of male members you have. That's one good way. Ordell, do you have any suggestions?
I just noticed we have a spike in membership whenever we do something new, I guess. So like the lunches with, we just started with a new lunch vendor called Lab Burger. And, you know, the kids come home and they say, Mom, my friend had Lab Burger, and then, you know,
Lab Burger?
yeah, it's just a new restaurant, it's a local restaurant.
I'm concerned.
So delicious, but that's a big one. And then ice cream lunch is a huge one. And that's a big money maker too. That makes us $1,000 every single ice cream lunch. So we charge like, I think $2 a bar, but we buy the boxes from Rich's Chocolate. They distribute to schools, and it's nut free and kid school friendly.
Okay.
And almost every student, because it is only $2. So, you know, almost all the parents sign on for that. And that's a huge one. After every ice cream lunch, we always get a few more members because the kids want ice cream. And any type of event. So the Mets game's been a big one to get the dads involved. We noticed a lot more engagement from the fathers when we started doing the sporting events. We have the Devils game, the Mets game, and the Yankee game, and those are very easy to organize. You just call the general group ticket sales, and they're more than happy to help you out. And they add some cool incentives as well. So all of those things, I always notice a spike in our membership when we do anything like that, because I guess it just creates kind of a buzz.
Awesome.
And,
That
I
sounds
also
great.
wanted to add that,
Yeah.
we don't have a specific website, or not a website, I'm sorry. We don't have a specific Instagram account, TikTok account, Facebook account, but we do have a social media presence with our town, which most of our community is a part of. So we're able to show our events that are coming up. We have plant sales, we've got holiday events, and they find out that, hey, Oradell has a PTA, and they sign up to make sure that they know what's going on at all times. So we increase our membership that way. Even though we don't have a Facebook page, there are groups within each grade. So me personally, I have a kindergartner, so I have a group for, don't laugh, class of 2034.
Oh God, you're making me feel old.
It just sounds far away.
I might be in the old folks home by then.
I know, right? But in that group, everyone has questions and they share ideas. And for myself, I'm able to share information and events and lunch. And that increases visibility, because these parents, they're new parents, they don't know about the PTA. They don't know much, they want resources. So we see increases there too. So, if
Great.
you have specific Facebook groups within the school,
Mhm.
it's great to get your parents involved in those groups. And
Yes. And they'll bring other people in too.
absolutely.
That's an excellent point.
And
Thank you.
Ashima, if you notice, part of what I was sharing when I was talking about the sample year report is because we know that this time of the year, a lot of PTAs think that they're done with membership and they have an opportunity to be able to really boost it by letting people know, hey, we've done this much. We thank you for your membership. And we hope that you'll join us and continue supporting the work we do. So that is exactly the purpose of that mid-year resource that we have just published, so that you can be able to get that going. And, I agree with Kelly and the Oradell group. The reason why you have a thank you letter after the event to be able to make an ask is because it's the perfect opportunity for you to be able to let them see the value of your PTA and you are making an ask to get them to join your PTA at that time.
Great point. Thanks so much. Okay, so now we'd like to discuss our 121st Leadership Convention. And for this, I turn it over to Rosa Chera.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for standing by with us. I know it's a little over after 8 o'clock, but we're going to make that fast. Ivelisse, got us riled up to the national convention. I know myself, I'm excited to go, but before then, hopefully, and I have mine right here, my leadership packet, my registration packet. It's also on the screen. Our New Jersey PTA convention will be held April 1st and 2nd, which is almost a month away. Hopefully you will register. Hopefully you've already registered. I know registration has started. And, this is an opportunity for you, especially those of you in Bergen County. This year it's very close. You don't have to go to Atlantic City or down to Monmouth County. And we have different packages. So please go in and look at it. Rob did put the link in the chat if you want to check it out now. If not, go to our NewJerseyPTA.org website, and you can also do it there. But this is a great place to meet other leaders throughout New Jersey. It's relatively cheap. At least I like that, because I too used to be from the school of two to a bed, one on the floor, whatever it took to get to convention. And I never missed one since then. So again, this is such a great opportunity for workshops where you can learn. And also there's going to be a vendor show, a vendor exhibit hall where there's going to be vendors with services, fundraising idea and programs. And we would love to see you there. We have been virtual for 2 years. So we're excited to get back face to face, be able to talk to people, hug if you feel safe doing that. And we have a great lineup of speakers. Rob, if you could go to the next slide.
And Rose, it's a budgeted item, right? That they can use their funds.
Yep, absolutely. It's a legitimate budget expense. So hopefully you have money in your budget for it. If not, get your board together or get your members together at your next meeting, and make sure you get some, your money line item moved around so that you can attend. But we'll have our Commissioner of Education, our student rep from the State Board of Education. She is from Essex County in West Orange, I believe. Yes, West Orange. She is a great speaker, so she'll be opening up the convention. Then our friends from New Jersey School Board, Ray Pinney and Dr. Feinsod, will be doing some keynote speaking and some panel discussions. Also, we are doing our diversity, equity, and inclusion breakfast and a workshop this year. So our friend Fidelia from New Jersey principals and supervisors will be on hand for that. Our teacher of the year, she's also from West Orange. And then because we're also going to have a hybrid component, Anna King, who's in that last picture, those of you that don't know, our national president, she will be streaming in live to be able to greet everyone there in person. So it's exciting. And again, like Lori said, if you don't have money budgeted for it already, this is a legitimate expense. It's just like your job. You make sure that you are take time to get trained and things like that. And you want to be able to get trained in PTA also to become a better leader and bring that information back to your local PTA. So again, we're excited. Go on our page, use the link and check it out. And tonight, one lucky winner who is here with us, Rob is going to be spinning our Wheel of Fortune, and all our names Well, your names have been put on the wheel, and you will get a $99 registration. So you can either go for the day, or if you want to use it as a credit for your whole full experience, you can do that also. Rob will send you information about how to register if you are the winner. So Rob, do you want to do that for us, please?
Give me 1 second, no problem. Helen,
Congratulations, Helen. Helen, make sure Rob has your email address. And yeah, so if you want to just contact him at the PTA office, the email or phone number, and he'll help you with that free registration.
Awesome. Okay, that was great. Congratulations, Helen. We're so happy to have you join us. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us and PTAing with us today for your child and for all the children. We really appreciate your attendance. We will be having another Zooming into Membership event, probably from convention. That's what we're planning. So please keep an eye out for details. That will also be available on Zoom. So if you're not at the convention, you're not going to miss it. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Thank you to Oradell. Thank you all for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Oradell, and thank you, Evilise. Thank you to our Oradell Public School presenters, and thank you to our national PTA presenters.
My pleasure. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Have a nice night. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you. Good night.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
night, everyone.